All right, y'all. It's the beginning of the summer. I got a hoodie on again, but it's cool. It's cool. But what I'm saying is this, right? I just made a video yesterday. It was my day 11 of my squat everyday series, right? I'm slowly building my squat back. But I also made a video that I was going to piece together. It was going to be the same video, and it was going to be like almost a 20-minute video. But I know people don't usually watch the whole 20-minute video, so I made it 2 videos. So I had my squat everyday video, and I had my other one called the position of power. My squat everyday video also was explaining the position of power. So I had squat every day, day 11, the position of power. That I have a video just titled the position of power. So I'm gonna put those 2 videos at the end of this video. I'm gonna try not to talk too long. I want to talk precise though. I want to talk a little more. Listen. One thing that's lost in the sauce these days when it comes to fitness influencers, including myself lately, I've had a few videos that was kind of controversial. I just felt like I had to touch on the topic, right? It was something, one thing for views, yes. And the other thing because it's something that I've been telling people for years about the natty or not thing, right? But this video ain't that. So I'm all for the Greg Doucette, the Hussein Farhat, and the anabolic stick thing for, I don't know if it's for good or not. If something pop up that I have to touch up on, I might touch up on it, because one dude had me in this video, so I'm like, yo, what, okay, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is form in the gym. Form follows function. For those who are new to fitness or new to lifting, you might have heard about having good form and having bad form. All right, and a lot of people talk about the core. The core is not just your abs, but it's everything around here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people talk about your core, right? And your base of strength and your center of gravity and things like that. But let me tell you something. That's very important. But whenever you go to lift weights, what you engage first is your lower half. And where does that start? At the base. Your feet. Your feet placement, the width of where you put your feet, whether you're squatting, deadlifting, whatever, bench pressing even, if your feet are flat or if you got them on your toes. A lot of times I do it on my toes. I used to do it with my feet flat. Your leg drive, everything's come from the feet on up. Whether you're doing legs, whether you're doing whatever. Even if you're bending over doing rolls, your base, it's like, okay, if you got a table, right, and you knock one of the legs off the table, is it going to be as stable? Is it going to be able? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to put a reel of cable on that table? Yo, that's all bars. But no, let's get off that rapping stuff, because a lot of people won't, take the video seriously if they don't feel like I'm taking it serious. I rap for real, so, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, you have to approach the bar with seriousness, and you have to plant your feet. All right? If your feet are too narrow, if your feet are together, if your feet are too wide, now listen, the deadlift, right? You have sumo deadlift. You have conventional deadlift. You have, people who keep their toes straight. You got people who point their toes out a little bit. You have to play with different widths to find out where you personally stand. Me, a rule of thumb to find a position of power when it comes to the deadlift is to, if I was to just jump, where my feet land when I jump, that might be the best, give or take, that might be the best width for me to exert power through my legs on up on the deadlift, on the conventional deadlift. Sumo, you got to play around with that. I'm not really a sumo lifter. I'm a conventional deadlifter, right? Low bar squats. I always feel like I'm always in a better position with a low bar squat. What does that mean? High bar means you got the bar right here. Low bar, you kind of got it a little bit lower. Also, when you low bar squat, your body will go forward a little bit as you're squatting. If you're high bar squatting, you're probably going to stay more upright. All right. So a lot of times when I be squatting, people be like, why are your body going like this? Your body is in a position that's kind of forced to go that way. There's two different lifts. All right. It's the same lift. They both squats, but they're different. Just like if you have a bench press and you play with your width on your hands. We're mostly talking about the feet here, where it starts. But if you play with the width on your hands, where you place the bar, you know what I'm saying? If I'm lifting with my hands, I don't know if this will work, but yeah. I'm lifting with my hands wider. I'm hitting way more chest, right? But I'm putting a lot of stress right here on my shoulders. That's why people get rotator cuffs. That's not the only reason. But if I do it way narrow, I'm hitting way more tricep, right? And I'm more stronger on my triceps anyways. So, but I want to build my chest, but I want to lift a lot of weight. So I don't do very like narrow, like just tricep. I'm not saying I don't do them, but I'm saying when I go to bench press a lot of weight, I'm kind of like, I'm not very wide, but I'm not very narrow either. I'm kind of like shoulder width. Shoulder width means if you lift your hands without trying to go wider or narrow, you just lift your hands in front of you. That's shoulder width, all right? So I might be a little slightly wider than shoulder width, and I press from there. So I'm kind of wide because I want to build my chest, but I also want to use that power. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lift lightweight, you know what I'm saying? And I also don't want to injure my shoulder. So I make sure I roll my shoulders back and tuck them like that, giving my back a natural arch when I lay on the bench. I can fit my hand under my back right here. So you want 3 points of contact, right? You want your back, you want your head on the bench, your butt on the bench, and your feet on the ground. If your butt is coming off the bench like that, if you was competing, it wouldn't count. A lot of people bench like that, you know, and they cheat. They do anything. Like me personally, if I'm benching and I'm going like this, I don't count that rep. If my rep is tore up, even if I got the bar to my chest and up and racked it, I don't count that rep. Whatever weight that made me do a afflicted lift, afflicted lift like that, that means I'm not ready for that amount of weight. Swallow my pride. Lower the weight. Same thing on the squat. If I'm squatting, right? If I'm not, you probably not going to be able to see me when I go down. Listen. Nope, you can't see me. But if I ain't way down here, if I'm like this, that squat doesn't count. I don't care how much weight I got on the bar. You got people that brag. Oh, you only squatted 250? If somebody squatted 135 and they was down like this, I respect that squat way more than if somebody squatted 1,000 pounds and they squatted like this. What are you doing? Can I do 1,000 pounds like that? I don't know. I'm not going to try it either. That's stupid. That's how you see these crutches? That's how you end up on stuff like that, playing around, doing dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling nobody stupid or nobody dumb. I'm calling their actions stupid and dumb. Take that how you will. I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying people need to learn. And not the hard way. Don't wait until you find out the hard way. All right? So that's not even what this video is about. It's not about... Safety is always first. Always tell people safety first. But we're talking about actually progressing and getting stronger. Right? Safety should be common sense. You know what I'm saying? After a while. Especially if you watch all my old videos, because I always talk about safety. But it's getting to the point where I'm talking about safety too much. There could never be too much safety. But we have to also talk about how to actually get stronger. And this is the perfect time to watch my videos lately in the gym. This little bedroom video, whatever, this is whatever. I'm trying to explain a point further. See, further explaining the position of power. It's like shooting a cannon from a canoe. What's going to happen? That canoe going to tip over. It doesn't have a strong base. if I put something on a wobbly table or a table that's about to break, what's going to happen? It doesn't have a strong base. When you got your brand new big screen TV, if you setting it or something like, okay, you wall mount it, even if you wall mount, you want it to have a strong base. You want to have a strong base. You know what I'm saying? Your foundation in your house, they start from underground. Why? So it can have a stronger base. Trees. If you got a tree that's this tall, under the ground, it's probably that same height. The roots to have a strong base. It's the same thing when you're lifting weights. You're lifting an unstable thing. So you have to plant your center of gravity and you have to have a